Men are by nature merely indifferent to one another, but women are by nature enemies. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. It is with trifles, and when he is off guard, that a man best reveals his character. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. The only freedom that exists is of a metaphysical character. In the physical world, freedom is an impossibility. The more unintelligent a man is, the less mysterious existence seems to him. Life swings like a pendulum backward and forward between pain and boredom. After your death, you will be what you were before your birth. Men are the devils of the earth, and the animals are the tormented souls. Religion is the masterpiece of the art of animal training, for it trains people as to how they shall think. Conscience accompanies every act with a comment, "You should act differently," although its true sense is, "You could be other than you are." The difficulty is to try to teach the multitude that something can be true and untrue at the same time. No rose without a thorn, but many a thorn without a rose. The bad thing about all religions is that, instead of being able to confess their allegorical nature, they have to conceal it. Great men are like eagles, they build their nest on some lofty solitude. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. To be alone is the fate of all great minds, a fate deplored at times, but still always chosen as the less grievous of two evils. If we were not also interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. A poet or philosopher should have no fault to find with his age if it only permits him to do his work undisturbed in his own corner. It's the niceties that make the difference. Fate gives us the hand, and we play the cards. The word of man is the most durable of all material. It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. Mostly it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Wicked thoughts and worthless efforts gradually set their mark on the face, especially the eyes. No one writes anything worth writing unless he writes entirely for the sake of his subject. What people commonly call fate is mostly their own stupidity. The person who writes for fools is always sure of a large audience. There is no doubt that life is given to us, not to be enjoyed, but to be overcome, to be got over. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and to double one's duties. All truth passes through three stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. Every possession and every happiness is but lent by chance for an uncertain time, and may therefore be demanded back the next hour. We seldom think of what we have, but always of what we lack. Life is a constant process of dying. Money is human happiness in the abstract. The safest way of not being miserable is not to expect to be happy. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. Wealth is like seawater. The more we drink, the thirstier we become. The same is true of fame. Happiness consists in frequent repetition of pleasure. A sense of humor is the only divine quality of man. The closing years of life are like the end of a masquerade party when the masks are dropped. It is a clear gain to sacrifice pleasure in order to avoid pain. A man can be himself only so long as he is alone. The greatest of follies is to sacrifice health for any other kind of happiness. It is difficult to find happiness within oneself, but it is impossible to find it anywhere else. Every nation ridicules other nations, and all are right. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Almost all of our sorrows spring from our relations with other people. If you want to know your true opinion of someone, watch the effect produced in you by the first sight of a letter from him. Sleep is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death. Nature shows that with the growth of intelligence comes increased capacity for pain. Each day is a little life. How shall a man be proud when his conception is a crime, his birth a penalty, his life a labor, and his death a necessity? To feel envy is human, to savor schadenfreude is devilish. Willpower is to the mind like a strong blind man who carries on his shoulders a lame man who can see. To overcome difficulties is to experience the full delight of existence. Hope is the confusion of the desire for a thing with its probability. One should use common words to say uncommon things. Ordinary people merely think how they shall spend their time. A man of talent uses it. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. Honor has not to be won, it must only not be lost. In action, a great heart is the chief qualification. In work, a great head. Truth is most beautiful undraped. Politeness is the human nature what warmth is to wax. A pessimist is an optimist in full possession of the facts. Everyone takes the limits of his own vision for the limits of the world. If a man does not love solitude, he will not love freedom, for it is only when he is alone that he is really free.